I was getting fed up with lying. People would say, are you all right? Is everything okay? Or they'd say, would you like to come round for dinner? Or would you like to go out for a drink or something? And I'd say, no, I'm not really feeling up to it. Well, actually, the answer is no, I'm not feeling up to it at all. I don't want to do it because I've got dementia. And there we are. It's not just therapy for me, but it's good economics as well. 1, 2, those ones are from the Rhode Island Reds, the bigger ones, and that delightful little one is from the Silky, who don't tell the others, but it's my favourite. Lovely little bouncy one. So there we have it. Straightforward swap. I feed them and they feed us. After half a century in work, as it were, I do still find it, I find it a bit difficult when there are big stories going on. The story that was the most important one that I did, and I was very proud about doing it, was the fall of the Berlin Wall. I was in Prague, Czechoslovakia, when Dubček came back. That was a great moment. I did the death of the late Queen Elizabeth II, and I did the coronation and her funeral and burial. So a bit of me feels I'd like to still be there at the heart of the action.
He gets very frustrated. He obviously misses it a lot. And it's not just the work, it's all the networking that goes with the work. Meeting all sorts of extraordinary people that he loved doing. When a big story breaks, I can see him following it in every way he can. And I feel for him because there's very little he can do about it.
About 2 years ago, I began to feel a bit disorientated, discombobulated, not quite knowing what was going on, where I was sometimes. And other people close to me, my wife, noticed I could no longer accurately tell the time on an old-fashioned analogue clock. My agent noticed that my emails were getting sloppy, bad spelling, bad grammar, and normally I was meticulous about that. The women I worked with noticed that I was turning up very early and didn't seem to be on top of things and sometimes looked dishevelled. My tie was not right or my shoes were not done up properly. A couple of them said, "Are you sure you're okay?"
If I asked him to do something, if it was more than one thing to do, maybe 2 or 3 elements to it, he couldn't understand that, he couldn't grasp that.
Sally's always been incredibly supportive of me. The experience of the last couple of years has confirmed that I not only made a brilliant choice, but I was very lucky in that choice because I married a woman who was very beautiful and still is, who I'd fallen in love with physically and emotionally, who turned out to be an incredibly good friend. Being married to someone who suddenly develops dementia is a hell of a challenge.
I think every day is so different. You can't really plan too far ahead. And I just try and keep a sense of humour. I think that's really important in everything that I do, really. I think, and it's important for him that I can still make jokes and we can make jokes about people on television or whatever. And I think that's important, to have a sense of humour, definitely. But I am quite practical.
Just said we'll do it this afternoon. Fine, good.
I suppose I feel sad for him, slightly frustrated for myself. Somebody said to me, "Do you resent it?" And that's a really hard thing to answer. Sometimes I do sort of, a sort of a why me sort of attitude with other things going on as well. But most of the time I just get on with it, really. I don't think you're not going to gain much by feeling sorry for yourself. People assume this is just older people forgetting things, and they need to know that it's so much more than that. I know that the charities all need extra funds. That's vitally important. I think there needs to be more awareness of it as well. I think there's a stigma to having dementia or having a relative with dementia, and I think there should be more education.
Literally tens of thousands of other people wouldn't have to go through what we've gone through, because dementia is a cruel ailment, there's no doubt about it. So a cure would matter. It is literally vital, the work that you do.